Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee on Flood Disaster Relief and Recovery has accused the City of Tshwane of not caring about the victims of Mamelodi. The committee is doing an oversight visit to the area, which was flooded back in 2019. It's been told that about 148 people are still in a shelter and at times they've had no food. Let's listen in on one of the officials who were there had to say a little earlier today.
Tshwane receives the Urban Settlement Development Grant from the National Department of Human Settlements. Just this year you received well over 600 million rands. And part of it, you have not used it. It means that the money was all over. And secondly, Chair, in terms of Section 29 of the MFFA, when there are emergencies, because Tshwane is telling us that they are waiting for the money from the provincial government. But in cases of emergency, the mayor of a city has got a right to redirect the money for emergency, such as the floods. And we are not told the intervention that Tshwane is making to ensure that the people who are poor are assisted. And it can't be a scapegoat that we do not have these funds. When you have billions, you are one of the biggest municipalities in this country. And you should be in the position to redirect the funds to where the need is. And the need is to support people who are adversely affected by the floods. And lastly, Chair, this municipality, the Auditor General has indicated in his recent report, you are the worst performing municipality, Tshwane.
All right, let's bring in eNCA's reporter, Moloko Moloto, who was there during this particular meeting. Moloko, what else was raised by officials there? And if there were residents in this particular meeting, did they get a chance to voice out their frustrations?
Hello, Masero. Well, the gentleman who's speaking there is China Dodovu, who is a member of parliament. That meeting was taking place at the municipal chambers of Tshwane Metro Municipality. Unfortunately, the residents were not there. If they were there, they were not given an opportunity to speak because that was a parliamentary committee meeting. It was a formal meeting of Parliament, and as I speak to you now, those members of Parliament have proceeded to Hammanskraal in a village called Ramutsi, one of the areas that were hard hit by the recent floods. I must point out that those members of parliament are not here to talk about the recent cholera outbreak that we have witnessed in Hammanskraal. They are here specifically regarding the issues of the floods. We are now inside a community hall in Nelmafias in the area of Mamelodi. I'm just going to ask my colleague Percy to show you. This is where some of those flood victims are located. They live here. This has become their home. It is a kitchen, it is a bathroom, it is a bedroom at the same time. They sleep here. I'm told that where we are now, this is where the females as well as small children are staying. You possibly have seen the little ones there. I'm told that the youngest of those two is actually about 1 month and 6 months, 1 year, 6 months, I beg pardon. And when he came here, he was only 3 months. And we were told that about 148 people still live in this particular shelter. But I'm just going to ask the residents, to those who are affected, to come and join me so that we can talk to them about their situation here. And what you have heard already is that the City of Tshwane is saying that it doesn't have enough money to relocate the residents, and it is requiring assistance from the provincial government. Let's speak to Kolobe, Mr. Matiba. Thank you so much, Eddie, for your time. Tell us about how you guys live here. How long as well have you been here, Le Pelarang?
The situation here is very dire. You can see for yourself. We have kids who must do homeworks after school. They have no place to do homeworks. They have no place to bath. It's very cold here because it's an open hall, and the municipality and the provincial government are not willing to play the ball. We have people as young as 6 months old here. We have elders, which pay pensioners. I'm talking about pensioners. They are homeless. They have to bath in front of kids, young boys, and the situation is extremely dire. And the government, it doesn't treat this as people. They're actually treating us as semi-human beings.
Yeah, I understand that the first flood that hit this area in the recent times was in 2019. The other one happened in 2022, and the latest one happened in February this year. Lena, in which category do you fall as the people who are here?
The people who are here were people who are affected by the floods from 2019 and until this year, 2023. They are from different squatter camps. We talk about Mavuso, Willow Farm, 77, Yester Fabrique, Mountain View, Riverside, and the government is just not willing to play the ball because of even the DDG once said there's nothing that he can do. We must speak to the municipality. The municipality said, no, those are people because they are from a disaster management who must handle this. The DDG from Gokta said, no, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, one of the points that were raised during the parliamentary meeting that was held at the Tshwane Municipal Chambers this morning was that you, as the people who were in some of those informal settlements, you actually invaded or occupied those pieces of land unlawfully, so despite the fact that some of them are wetlands, and you were warned not to go and live there. Essentially, some officials are saying that you are manipulating the process, you're putting yourself there so that you can be prioritized when it comes to the issue of housing, to a point that you are even jumping the queues.
Much as you know that for a black man to live is to suffer, government is dragging their feet, providing people with houses. People cannot live in squalor forever. People cannot live in back doors forever. People cannot rent forever. Some people are not working. Some people are just unemployed workers. When I say unemployed workers, somebody who earns nothing at all, just from hand to mouth, cannot afford rent, cannot afford transport. Kids must eat, kids must wear, kids must go to school. So government mustn't come with stories because they themselves are failing to deliver what people should get.
So you are going to have an opportunity to speak to the members of the Ad Hoc Committee from Parliament who are on their way here. Specifically, what are the key issues that you want them to attend by the time they leave here?
By the time they leave here, they must tell us because the province bought land there in Moiplas. The land is ready, they can relocate people there, and then the issue of floods is no more. The issue of people being displaced is no more. It's for them to play the ball. If they can't play the ball, let them give us the ball, we'll play it, much as we did before.
If you say government has bought land, why do you think you haven't been relocated to that piece of land you're talking about? What has the municipality and the province, what have they been saying?
Municipality says doesn't have resources or funds to relocate people. Province said, okay, I will relocate people. People waited forever. Ever since last year, they've been saying, we relocate people, we relocate people. Nothing is happening.
You talked about corruption before I interrupted you.
When I was talking about corruption, the first phase, there were people who were not even South Africans, who were on the list going to Moiplas. And then we fought about that, and some Somalians and Ethiopian people, we removed them there. They were on the list. And then that list was drafted by Government Street, municipality in particular.
Let's conclude. Regarding this claim by the municipality as well as the province to say that some of the people do go to take advantage, place themselves in areas where they are not supposed to live. Now, if they were to remove you and relocate you to a better place, what do you think should happen with regard to that particular space that you would have vacated, where you know now that it is prone to floods?
We must protect our environment. There's no one who will take a risk of taking his kids going to next to the floods or swamp sites. Government, what they need to do, they must make sure that each and every area is protected and the environment is protected so that people can live a healthy life. Yeah.
A quick one. The City of Tshwane has said, the MMC of Community Safety, they told Parliament today that they have established a unit within the municipality through which they are going to be removing people immediately when they invade land or they occupy land illegally. Do you support that?
I don't support that because first, they must give South Africans, indigenous South Africans, a place called home. Government, they're wasting a lot of money on useless things. Now they were commemorating June 16, whereas people don't have places to stay. Kids don't have places called home. But they took millions just to celebrate, commemorate June 16. Whereas to build an RDP house won't cost them more than 70,000 each.
All right, thank you so much. How long did you say you've been living here for, by the way?
Since 2019.
Since 2019. Eddie Matiba, who represents the residents who have made this particular place their new home. Some of them are outside Masero waiting eagerly for those members of parliament to come and listen to their issues. Of course, we spoke earlier to the MMC of Community Safety in the City of Tshwane, who disputes those claims by members of parliament that they don't care about the flood victims, and still talking about the issue of the fact that they don't have money as the municipality. The member of Executive Council, MEC for Koksta in Gauteng, Mr. Mzi Khumalo, saying that also blaming the municipality, because I did ask him to say, what took you so long before you can attend to this issue? Did it have to take members of parliament for you to come and intervene? And he says for the longest time as the province, they would call the City of Tshwane into meetings to address this and many other issues relating to this situation. And he says they would often not pitch. And of course, the City of Tshwane denies that. Despite the claims and the counterclaims, denials, what we know is that the people are stuck in a hall in the middle of winter. They say some of them since 2019.